Hello, friends. Welcome back to Get Happy, Be Fit. Today, we are going to talk about getting back into the groove of working out or making fitness a priority after having time off or getting out of the habit. I have been trying to get back into a consistent groove with my weighted workouts for a while after having to take time off due to medical stuff and just generally getting out of the habit because of the quarantine and gyms being closed for so long. And I know a lot of people have been dealing with the same thing this year. And it is so frustrating to really feel like you've made progress and created good habits that aid in achieving your goals, and then having things happen that get in the way of that and get you out of the habit. And we tend to beat ourselves up, and trying to get back into it feels discouraging because it's not as seamless as it was before or the first time. And maybe you don't feel as motivated because it feels like you're starting from the beginning again, and losing ground is such a frustrating feeling. When you start a weight loss journey, there tends to be a lot of instant gratification in the beginning. After the first couple of weeks of being consistent, you start to feel stronger and you can start to see some improvements. And this feels really good and it drives you to keep going. And that can be really exciting when you first start seeing those results. But when you feel like you've backtracked or gotten out of the habit or gained weight back or lost some of your strength, starting at what feels like the beginning all over again doesn't have that same kind of excitement because we tend to focus on what we feel like we had and lost. And that feeling of discouragement can be really debilitating. As an example that has nothing to do with fitness, I played classical piano from the age of 4 to 18. I continued to play just for fun a little bit after that, but really dropped off in my early 20s and pretty much stopped altogether in my mid-20s after I moved to New York City because I didn't have a piano. And now it's been so long since I've played. When I do actually sit down to play, I feel like I suck and it's just not easy like it used to be. So it's not as enjoyable, and so I don't keep playing, and as a result, I will never be as good as I used to be. And if I really wanted to, I could practice consistently and get back to where I was pretty quickly. But it's just not fun like it was when I was younger and saw consistent improvement and growth when I was practicing and playing all the time. And the exact same kind of thing can happen with weight loss and fitness, especially after an injury or something like this quarantine. I have been consistent with some things during the quarantine. I have taken a 5-mile walk with Todd every morning for months now, and I've been getting an average of probably one weighted workout a week in, which is a far cry from the 5 to 6 days of weighted workouts and sometimes 2 a days that I've been doing for 3 to 4 years. But I just haven't felt as motivated because a lot of things have taken priority, including my mental health, and I don't plan on competing until 2021. And I also wasn't able to work my shoulders, chest, or back for 4 months. But now I've been cleared to work out however I want. But it took me a little bit to get back in the groove, which I was surprised about because I had been anxiously awaiting the day I could go back to working out the way I wanted and getting back into the groove of the routine that I used to have. For the first couple of weeks after I was cleared, I was thinking, okay, I'm pretty detrained at this point, so I probably want to ease into it and just start with 3 days a week of weighted workouts. And so I would work out on Monday, then put off the second workout because other projects are just, generally feeling exhausted. But I would think, well, I'm only doing 3 workouts this week and there are plenty more days in the week. But then I would put it off again and I would put it off again until all of a sudden it was Sunday and I'd be thinking, well, I'm definitely working out tomorrow because it's Monday, so I'll just wait until then and I won't work out today. And I was thinking, why in the world is it so hard for me to get motivated to get back into my routine? And how do I get that motivation back? So I went back to the drawing board and kind of revisited what I used to do as my motivation, especially when I first started lifting. I started looking at my vision boards again. I started getting excited about the prospect of competing again and getting in the shape that I love to be in. And again, like I've said before, I like the shape I'm in now. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't hate my body or hate where I am, but I do love being in a certain type of shape. I feel so good and strong, and I do like the way I look a little more, and I do stress a little more. I would in no way be upset if I was in the shape I'm in now for the foreseeable future. So just a reminder that you can love yourself, love your body, be happy in your body, and still have weight loss and fitness goals. But anywho, I started with visualization again, started getting excited because I knew with the right habits, I would meet my goals again. Then I added a tapping practice for creating good habits to my morning routine. I found this particular tapping routine on YouTube from a guy named Brad Yates. And tapping is a really great tool and has been really effective for me in a lot of aspects of my life. And these things that I started to do got me in the right mindset. And getting in the right mindset for me always has to come first. And after I got my mindset right, I realized that what I was missing was the habit of deciding to work out no matter what. It was one of the top 3 things I had to do every day. I would come home from training a client or teaching an acting class feeling drained, and honestly, like all I wanted to do was lay in bed and read and eat food, but I would go to the gym anyway. I wouldn't dialogue in my head about how much I hated it or didn't want to go. I wouldn't speak out loud that I didn't want to do it and how much I hated it. I would just do it. I knew it was something I had to do because I had decided it was something I had to do. And I did it. I did it even though all the laundry wasn't folded or I was behind on work. No matter what was on my to-do list, I worked out anyway. So my mantra became, do it anyway. And every single workout felt worth it. Even the ones that I really didn't want to do. Within the first couple of sets, it felt worth it, and I was glad I did it. And I was quickly reminded why the gym used to be my happy place, and I finally got back into the groove, and I am so happy about it. And another mantra I use is, I have all the time in the world, because one of the things that will keep me from going to the gym is knowing how much I have to do. I'll sometimes think, well, once I get this done, I'll go work out. And I've changed that to once I work out, I'll get that done. And the crazy thing is, since I've been doing that and making working out a priority, I've actually gotten more done. I have been way more productive. Sometimes it literally just takes making those kinds of decisions, and everyone is going to be different. Maybe you get burnt out by trying to work out every day. Maybe you do better easing into it. I have one client that is super busy and overwhelmed with everything going on in her life right now. She really has a full plate and a lot of stressful things happening, and she was having a hard time getting into the groove of doing all of the workouts we set for her. So now she works out once a week at home and trains with me once a week. And over time, as that becomes more of a habit and she feels less overwhelmed, we'll progress to increase the volume to more days and more workouts. Just like everything else with fitness, it takes some trial and error to figure out what is the most effective and sustainable for you specifically. But one thing that is very important to remember about mindset when trying to get back into the groove is that at one point in time, starting your fitness journey was exciting. Seeing those first results was fun and drove you to do more. Tap back into that because you get to do it all over again. And this time, even though you were out of it for a while and you feel like you may have backtracked, you're starting with a much stronger foundation and will get further faster as long as you're consistent. Just like if I were to practice the piano every day for 3 months, I would probably be back to the skill level I was after playing for a decade because it's still there. It's still in my body. I know how to do it. It just takes getting back into it and practicing and just doing it. So replace that discouraged feeling with excitement to see the results again. Use visualization to get excited and decide what it is that you need to do to get back in the groove, whether it's to slowly ease back in by never missing a Monday or deciding that nothing will get in the way of your daily workouts. And as always, Be gentle with yourself. Sometimes other things taking precedent over working out is imperative, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just something to acknowledge and figure out. You're still the same person that you were when it was a habit, so tap into that. The first few times you do it anyway, it may take more effort to make that happen, but it won't feel like that forever. And before you know it, you'll be back in the groove. All right, that's all for today.